In life, you're going to go through hard times. You're going to go through difficult times. And let me can I prop you up on something. Okay. In life, you're going to go through hard times. That's pretty much the norm for life. That's why we call life life, correct? However, some of those things are going to be painful. Like it's not just going to be hard, but it's going to induce pain, whether it's mental or physical. Whatever it is, it's going to be painful. And the biggest thing about these painful moments is that you need to learn from the pain and ask yourself what caused that pain in the first place. You know, sometimes sometimes people can cause us pain and it won't necessarily be our enemies, but it'll actually be those that are close to us. And I feel like that is the most painful pain that you can get because you didn't expect it from that person. The hardest thing about receiving pain like that is that it forces you to make a decision whether you choose yourself or you choose that person. Or you'll also have to make a decision on whether you want to think that that person is going to change and not induce that pain on you again, or ask yourself if you're willing to deal with that pain again if it happens, and if you're willing to accept that this person may never change. Sometimes when things like that occur and you got to make a decision, it's very easy for you to choose the easy route, which is to go through the same cycle, what you're comfortable in, and allow that person to continue hurting you. Even though you don't like the pain that you feel from that person, the comfort that they bring by being in your life trumps the pain, or I would say trumps the pain. And the reason why I put it into quotations is because it trumps the pain in the moment for you to have comfort. However, it doesn't forever trump the pain because eventually that pain will become something so unbearable that you just gotta let it go, especially if it doesn't change for the better, you know? So sometimes you have to adjust to that pain early. And I was young, so I was inexperienced, so I was hoping that the pain that I felt from my relationship, my past relationship, would go away and things would get better. But things never really did get better, and we were both holding on to something that should have been let go a long time ago. And the thing is that when you decide to take that risk and hope for somebody to change that's causing you pain, it's a very it's a it's a very big risk that you're going to take, because if you decide to continue being with that person, then eventually later down the line, either your life can just stay miserable because they never change. I mean, in rare cases they do change, but sometimes even if the change happens, it takes distance for that change to happen. It's not going to happen while it's in the relationship. Or I would say like 7 times out of 10, it's not going to happen while it's in the relationship, especially if the relationship has been long term. So I would say for the most part, you choosing to continue bearing this pain to be comfortable and be with the person that you think is for you, it's going to end up causing you a lot more pain in the long run. You know, for example, and this is completely different from emotional pain, but let's just use this as an example because I feel like this is appropriate for the topic at hand. So I was riding my mountain bike with my brother on Saturday, and we go to this bike park, and this bike park has jumps. This time I'll include a clip at the end of the video of me jumping the jumps. This was before, but it has jumps. It has some jumps. And, the first couple of times I went over those jumps, some of them were good, some of them were sketchy. Sometimes I would land on the front wheel, but everything would work out. So I started getting more comfortable with these jumps and jumping them more and hitting them with a little more speed. And as I got comfortable, I forgot the good form. So once again, I did one of my mistakes, which is landing on the front tire. But this time it was different. Since I was going with more speed, ooh, I got an order. Okay, I'll take the order. Not too bad. But as I went with more speed, it caused me to have more air time, which gave me more time for my nose to dive down, right? So I land on the front tire, and at first I was like, okay, this is really sketchy, but I might be able to, be good and pull this off. But that wasn't the case. I ended up going over the handlebars and I fell and I hit the floor hard. Dirt is not as soft as you think it is. It's basically like concrete. But yeah, so I hit the floor hard. I hit my shoulder and I was laying there for a while. My brother came up to me. He was like, "You good? You good? Everything okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm straight," but I was in pain. And, with me feeling that pain, I personally didn't want to go like that. Like me messing up a jump or messing up a turn or anything like that on the bike is similar to or me messing up and leaving like that is similar to me shooting a shot and leaving on a miss, if you catch my drift. So I didn't want to leave on a miss. So I got up and I was like, nah, I'm gonna try this jump one more time. But once I got up and tried to like get on my bike, I realized how painful my shoulder was. Like I couldn't even, like, now I can do this, like it still hurts, it's still sore, but before I couldn't even lift it up like this, like I could for a little bit, but it was super painful. Now I'd be able to ride a bike, like probably not do the jumps right now, but I can ride a bike. But still, so I was forced to make a decision for myself. Okay, I just got hurt. Am I going to continue riding my bike right now even though I'm hurt? And so not only would I be able to not ride my bike properly and hit the jumps properly, but I can hurt myself even more by continuing to ride my bike. Am I going to do that to myself, or am I going to give myself a break, go home, cut my losses, heal, and try again later on? And so I just want to leave this message with you, asking you, the viewer, if something or someone hurt you, are you going to continue to ride that bike even though you may get hurt again and you're probably not ready to properly ride the bike right now because you just got hurt? Or are you going to give it a little break? I hope you learned something from this video. I apologize once again for not posting during this weekend. I was hurt, and that hurt caused me to be lazy. But I'm going to do my best to be back in action. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.